Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. We're outside Stamford Bridge. We've just drawn 2-2 against Arsenal. We were 2-0 up, mate, and we just couldn't hold it out. Some fans are more positive than others. How do you feel?
It feels like a loss. It does feel like a loss. I think that the moment when Mudryk came off, that is where the moment I think that we threw the game away. Because I feel like Poch made a mistake, took off Mudryk for, was it Sterling or Madueke?
I think it was Madueke.
Madueke, right? So, because as a result, we're losing a bit of dynamic from the flank to attack the right fullbacks, and also I think we were getting way overconfident, in my opinion. I understand that because it's 2-0 up, but at the same time, I feel like this team is still kind of like a bit of learning patch, I would say, immature, and that is, I feel like immaturity cost us today.
When you say that, you know, yeah, when you talk about being immature, what exactly do you mean by that? Because I know we have a young squad, but they're also very experienced in their own right.
I think immaturity in terms of kind of like in-game management, you know. I feel like we're still lacking that in the big time. I think in these kind of games, when you go 2-0 up, you have to kill the game out, and I feel like that's the problem that we're gonna have to face in the next couple of games now. I feel like it's kind of killed that momentum, you know, and we should have won at least. Like we should have at least in the first half. I think the game should have been dead and buried. The amount of chances that we had.
So it sounds to me like, you know, that Lewis said, for example, he blames this on Robert Sanchez. He thinks this is the goalkeeper's fault.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you think we should have just outscored them, so that even if we did concede 2 goals, that would have been an issue because we should have buried the game right at the beginning.
No. The thing is, let me get that into the game a sec, yeah, because I feel like in the first half, I think that was the best performance. I feel like in the second half, for me, once Robert Sanchez made that mistake, the whole game fell apart because I feel like we were just too cautious and also too kind of like too relaxed. There's no awareness from the back. Look at Gusto's goal example. That is an example of unawareness. I feel like that's where I feel like the experience of the Arsenal side can punish that. Because in this kind of situation, if you're Arsenal fans right now behind the goal, like I wouldn't blame them. They were gassed because,
of course,
that performance that was bad from them in the first half, but the second half, completely different. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just a bit tired. I'm just a bit vexed, you know, kind of like going to this game. We haven't won here for 5 years against Arsenal, and we just threw the game like that away. It's just crazy.
Do you think with Gusto, I mean, he had such a good game. I know we did concede the second goal, but apart from that, he was fantastic. I think Don was saying he should have been man of the match as well, which is absolutely up for debate. I heard Lewis say that Saka won man of the match. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. When Reece James does come back and is fully fit and able to play as a right back, I mean, if it's me, I think there's a bit of competition there. That spot is no longer Reece James on his own because when Gusto plays like that for the majority of the game, it's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. And this is the thing, because I feel like for me, like I said last week, I think Malo Gusto's signing probably the best signing of the season so far. He's giving Reece James a hard time. I feel like apart from the red card against Aston Villa, he didn't do anything wrong. It's just that one slight moment, I feel like Gusto is a bit of inexperience, kind of like marking that on the right hand side. You know, it's a learning curve from him. I think he'll learn that big time, but at the same time, we're gonna regret it for a while now about that goal, because I feel like we threw away 2 points and we just suddenly killed that momentum.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me when Martinelli scored that goal a few years ago. Yeah. Do you remember when Kante slipped?
Yeah, Kante slipped as well. It reminded me of that, and also, it just goes to show again, like I said, man, we're not where we are at the moment. We're just kind of like in the 10, 11 place, sort of things, you know. And the way that the games are coming thick and fast, we've got Brentford and Spurs away. How can we cope that mentally? Because I feel like this is one of those aspects that mentality has got to change. When you go into this 2-0 up, you have to kill these games, and I feel like we're still inexperienced about it.
I mean, what about the striking situation as well? I know Jackson, there's a bit of doubt as to his injury problems and everything like that. He didn't start, but our front three were very effective with the limited chances they had.
Absolutely. In the first half, I thought that was the best performance I could have had in that front three row without Jackson. I feel like when Jackson came on, it kind of ruined that momentum because Jackson as a player, he's not that fast. He's a bit slow, a bit dodgy in terms of ball touching, etc., etc. I think Poch made the mistake bringing him on. I feel like he should have left him on the bench because I don't think if he said that Jackson was injured, I don't think he should come into this game whatsoever because I don't think he offered anything into that game.
And Cucurella at left back as well. Last season we saw him play left wing back in a back three. We never saw him play in a back four as a left back, but today we've seen it. We saw it again the other week. It's obviously his best position.
That was my best performance so far I've seen for Cucurella for a while now because I feel like in that left hand side, I think he busted Saka big time. I don't know how Saka got him on the match, but Cucurella, hats up to yourself because I feel like he's also one of those players that been getting criticised a lot from last season because of the price tag. And then last couple of games, ever since that against the Brighton B team, he stepped up ahead of Chilwell. And let's say if Chilwell coming back, let's say in the month of November against Cucurella, if Cucurella can keep this up, Chilwell gonna have a hard time competing in that spot.